Hello friends, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365 and it's a new month, so here's everything that I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for December 2020. If you're new to the channel, please hit the like button, subscribe, hit that bell notification. You can also find me over Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at Movie Guy 365. Okay, a new month and year is upon us, so I thought I would go over everything I picked up on Blu-ray and 4K for December 2020. We're going to start with the Blu-rays. The first one up is going to be a classic Robin Williams movie. I was so happy they announced this one for an actual physical release. I know it's been HD on digital for quite some time now, but you know, me being a physical collector, I like to have it in my hand. That is Popeye. Love the movie. It's a great comedy with a lot of musical elements, and you know, Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall, classic pair, and really just a fun movie. I think it ages well in my opinion. It's a good-looking transfer, and Paramount did a good job here. Yeah, Popeye on Blu-ray. Definitely pick that up if you are a fan of the movie. This one I was just waiting for a decent price on. Finally got it for relatively cheap. It's another good comedy. Like, it's definitely different than Popeye. That is Road Trip. Yeah, this is definitely one of those, you know, acquired taste comedies, but it's good. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty hilarious. And Blu-ray is still available. I thought it went out of print for a while. I think one studio releasing it version went out of print, but this one was a good price on Amazon. Yes, Road Trip, classic comedy. This one was a blind buy. It was a new release for this month, and I'm a fan of Liam Neeson, so of course I was going to give it a try. Made in Italy. I can't really tell you too much about this. I haven't watched it yet. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts, I'll go ahead and post something on Letterboxd about it. But yeah, Blu-ray edition of Made in Italy is readily available out there. It came out in early December, I believe, second week of December. But it looked interesting. I saw a trailer, and once again, I am a fan of Liam Neeson, so yeah, I'm going to give this one a shot. I will let you know. This one, a couple releases from Shout Factory I picked up, waiting for sales on this one. Snow Falling on Cedar, starring Ethan Hawke. I like the movie. It's not one that you would necessarily go back to quite a bit. I've seen it maybe 2 or 3 times since it originally came out. But it's a good drama. It's got a lot of heavy elements to it, but it is shot beautifully, and I feel that Ethan Hawke and his co-star are really good in it. You definitely want to check this one out. Decent film, Snow Falling on Cedars. Big fan of Ethan Hawke. This one came as part of one of Amazon's buy 2 get 1 free sales, but Sliding Doors, starring Gwyneth Paltrow, released from Shout Factory. I like a good what-if story, and Sliding Doors definitely fills that need. It has a good, you know, parallel stories telling at the same time. What if you made a decision differently? And Gwyneth Paltrow, doing her best British accent, is really good in it. And it's a fun drama. Well, not fun, but it's a drama. And it's, you know, check it out. I think it's a good acting bit for Paltrow, and it's, you know, it answers a lot of, like, you know, good what if, alternate reality type questions, but it doesn't take a sci-fi approach to it. It's very grounded. So yeah, I would check this one out if you are interested in that. Classic Michael J. Fox film came out semi-recently on Blu-ray, and I think this was actually part of that sale with Sliding Doors. Secret of My Success with Michael J. Fox. Good movie. I would probably put it up there with, you know, Doc Hollywood, and of course Back to the Futures would be below those two, but it's up there for me as far as a comedy and starring Michael J. Fox. Really decent flick. Very happy I finally get this one. And this one, once again, another Shout Factory release, and I believe this was the third part of that sale. UHF, starring Weird Al Yankovic. I love this movie. This is a classic Weird Al comedy. It really just has a lot of fun elements. It's very quotable, and it's kind of one of those things, like if you know somebody or if you're a friend and they've seen UHF and they like it, you kind of have like a little brotherhood there. It's really just one of those type of movies. It's, you know, like, I don't know, I have a good time with this one, and it holds up extremely well, and finally glad to have this one. All right, now let's go over some of the Criterions I picked up in December. As you may know, Criterion Collection typically goes on sale in the month of November. Barnes & Noble has a big sale both online and in store, and Amazon typically price matches it. So a lot of these are the Amazons that I ordered during that particular sale that were just out of stock or, just temporarily unavailable, but then they did ship in December, so it counts for this particular month. The first one is going to be The Ballad of Narayama. Check this one out. It's really a well-made film. I believe it's from 1958. But yeah, check this one. It's a very decent flick. A Matter of Life and Death on Criterion was also sent for December. Very cool, classic old Hollywood film. Worth checking out. Cold War. This one is actually a blind buy. I have not seen this one. A good friend of mine recommended this one. I'm always on the hunt for good classic cinema, both international and, domestic. But this one was highly recommended. So, I'll let you know on Letterboxd how I found this one. If you saw the Netflix show, The Haunting of Bly Manor, you're probably going to be familiar with this one. The Innocents, there's a lot of, storytelling elements that are from this movie that made it into that show. I dug the Netflix show a lot, big fan of the director, but yeah, I wanted to have the inspiration more or less in my collection. I'm surprised I actually did not have this one already, but yeah, The Innocents on Criterion. Jim Jarmusch, big fan. He was one of those directors, like when I first watched the movie of his, I was very unsure of, but I've become a big fan since then. Dead Man starring Johnny Depp. Check this one out. It's really, if you're a fan of the director, you probably already have seen it, but yeah, it's a very decent Jim Jarmusch type of movie. And finally, the last Criterion, Carnival of Souls. Classic, just vintage horror film type. Very atmospheric. It has a lot of crazy elements that you see in modern day films, and this is definitely the inspiration for a lot of movies that were made since then. It's really a great flick and worth checking out on Criterion. And of course on 4K there were quite a few things released, and it was a good month in December. Blade has gotten a release from Warner Brothers. I opted for the Steelbook edition, of course. Loved the Atmos on this. I think it was probably one of the better Atmos tracks of 2020. It really just, that opening club scene really just filled the room. But yeah, I think it's also a great looking picture. It is a good 4K release. The CGI is a little dated, but Blade, it's in today's superhero world with Marvel being owned by Disney, and it's interesting to see a Warner Brothers release. I know they it was actually made through New Line Cinema, which Warner Brothers owns, but it's just kind of a funny thing to note for today. Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. My favorite Eddie Murphy film by far, got a nice 4K release. It's got a great picture on it, very, very good looking, and it's just an awesome movie. I'm glad it was released on 4K. It was really cool. They do have a slipcover edition, but I of course opted for the Steelbook, and that is, as far as I know, still available now. Another Eddie Murphy flick released this month was Beverly Hills Cop. This unfortunately did not get a Steelbook edition. I thought the picture quality with HDR looked really good. Audio mix was a little so-so. I go over this all in my review if you want to check this out. But it's great to see Beverly Hills Cop on physical format in 4K. This one was a blind buy, but just you hear things about it, and I'm glad I picked it up. It looks good on 4K. It's released by Wellgo USA, and it's a good psychological horror action movie. Possessor from Brandon Cronenberg, the son of David Cronenberg. Cool. It's very visual. It has that visual, visceralness to it, but it's very it's not for everybody. I would check it out, maybe rent it first, but if you do decide to get the 4K, it looks really good on 4K. Also coming out this month, the Arnold Schwarzenegger classic, Total Recall. I did a complete review for this one. I opted for the Steelbook, of course, on this, and it's a classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. I had a few problems with the 4K release as I go over on the review, but it's cool to have it in the collection if you're a fan of the actor and the movie itself. Total Recall is now available on 4K. Another classic movie hit 4K from Arrow Video, that is Cinema Paradiso. I did a review for this one as well. Great international movie that celebrates film. It's really just that kind of simple. It comes with the theatrical cut that is rendered in 4K, and there's also the director's cut, which is a Blu-ray only. I prefer the theatrical in this particular instance. Usually I prefer director's cuts in my movies, but for Cinema Paradiso, I think theatrical is just fine. It actually looks really good on 4K and worth the upgrade if you're a fan of the movie. Collateral came out on 4K starring Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx. I did a review for this one, just a long story short. It's a moderate upgrade. The audio is really good, but visually, because of the limits of the camera being used to film the movie, it really only squeezes so much out as far as picture quality goes. But it's a great Michael Mann flick. It's awesome, honestly. I go back to it quite a bit. It's very cool seeing Tom Cruise as a villain, but this is now available on 4K. The Ip Man collection has been released on 4K and contains all 4 films of the Ip Man series starring Donnie Yen. I'm a big fan of the actor, and I thought his role as Ip Man was really good. Just, you know, check it out. It really is. I know it's been available digitally in 4K for a while now, but the physical release is now out in stores like Best Buy. But if you're a fan of the series, check that one out in 4K. Peter Jackson's The Hobbit trilogy I picked up on 4K. I did a complete review and unboxing of the Steelbook edition, which I picked up at Best Buy. Go ahead and check that one out. But yeah, immaculate transfer, awesome audio, really fantastic release. And I, of course, went with the Steelbook edition, but the regular edition is available out there. And of course, in addition to The Hobbit, the original The Lord of the Rings trilogy here in Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. Very fantastic release in my opinion. I did a review for the channel. Go ahead and look that one up. I did a review and unboxing if you want to see the Steelbooks up close. And also the normal edition is available out there for you to purchase. I'm a big fan of the trilogy. It's one of those I go to every year, and with the 4K release, it's absolutely worth the pickup in my opinion. But check out the review if you want to hear my thoughts in more detail. So that is everything I picked up for December 2020 on Blu-ray and 4K. Now it's your turn. I want to hear in the comment section below, what did you pick up for this particular month? In the meantime, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So until next time, this is Adam with Movie Guy 365. I will see you at the movies.